Hi, my name is Tony Rodriguez. I'm the Vice President of Marketing for the Stanton Group. We're here at Icon Collective, the Electronic Music Production School, on behalf of BPM magazine to demonstrate and unveil a new product called DaSCRATCH.
Here to show you DaSCRATCH, which is a new portable touch controller from Stanton. And it's a small controller by form factor, but it actually encompasses a lot of the kind of functionality that you would find in a larger turntable and on traditional DJ equipment. And we do this by a new touch sensitive technology that we call Stantons. And what that allows us to do is emulate these functions on DJ equipment, and also to some degree music production equipment in one surface through modes. And to demonstrate that, right now I have 3 sliders pulled up. I'm in a mode called Effects, and in here I can modify these sliders just by touching the surface. What's cool is I can jump around and do all this kind of cool stuff. I can also use 2 fingers, so if I want to trigger an effect in or out, it's all right there. Also, because it's on one surface, you could kind of like draw your patterns and do pretty cool things. Same thing with like an EQ type control. Actually, the only difference here is just the feedback. So that's kind of the equivalent of a slider. Now if we look, this is obviously a circular piece, and if I turn on this final mode, I have an analogy to spinning a record. This is important, that you want to be able to just continuously spin to scrub and find a position in your track. The only problem with controllers in this size is that you lose the resolution of actually scratching. Well, with our technology, we actually have both. I can scratch both kind of on a fine basis, or I can do more longer spins and scrubs, and I can move in between the two like it's nothing. The third kind of mode is triggering, and this would be more traditional note-on messages, like for turning on a loop or using a cue point. And right now there's actually 9 zones on the unit. If you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I actually have it set up for just quadrants, so I have 1 zone here, one zone here, and 1 zone here, and 1 zone here, and then kind of a larger zone. And that's good for if I have one main cue point that I'm hitting, and then 4 others. It's all right there. And this can be set up in the software to control loops or triggers, and that's kind of it. So you see, we have 6 sliders, and then 2 trigger modes, and this final mode. And if we actually go back to looking at this on a global level, we still have these buttons in every single mode, which are discrete, and you can use those as triggers. And these 2 sliders, which aren't linked to the modes, so as I switch modes, they're not going to update. And this is for volume control, and this is for pitch, and they actually respond differently. You see here, if I go all the way from top to bottom, it's not following my finger exactly. And that's because for pitch control, you really want to be able to have that fine tune, just like emulating a long 100mm long pitch slider on a small surface. We move all in relative movements, so you can really get in there and tweak. Last thing is these bottom 4 buttons, and these are also not linked to the modes as well. So these are used for transport controls, play, cue, sync, and tap. And what's really cool about this whole thing is that we've got these modes within this deck, but there's also virtual decks. If I hit this deck button, you see it went red and this LED changed to indicate that I've gone from A to B. So that means that I can be doing effects changes on deck B, and I can switch back to deck A, and it remembers where all my settings were, and it's like having another physical unit right there at your fingertips. Now that's not to discourage the person that wants more discrete controls. Maybe you want a physical deck A and a physical deck B. Maybe you want to just run triggering on one and sliders on the other. And what's really cool is that the system features a function called magnet. You can get 2 of these guys close to each other and they link together. And what this means is that you can just keep adding more and more components to create a larger control surface. And you could have 4 of these decks and have it set up 1 for each deck, or have 1 for doing loops, 1 for triggering, 1 for EQ, 1 for filters. It's kind of up to the end user, and we provide these templates towards applications so people can use it out of the box with an application, but it's also very much encouraged to create your own MIDI learn maps and come up with new and unique ways to use DaSCRATCH in ways that people never thought of. And on the back side, we also feature a pretty cool feature as well, which is cable management. So if I open up this unit, you see that the cable's in here. I can route the cable either through the sides, top, bottom, back, and also when I'm done, I can wrap the cable up and use it as a storage compartment. And this will be retailing at $2.99 MAP, available now.
So that's a look at Stanton's DaSCRATCH. It's available on September 19th at music retailers throughout the world. We'd like to thank Icon Collective, the Electronic Music Production School, and BPM Magazine for hosting this demonstration, and look forward to seeing you and DaSCRATCH in the DJ electronic music performance stages around the world. Thanks.